Hello, happy Friday everyone. Today is Fraction Friday. We're going to practice drawing and comparing fractions. So I have two fractions. Remember, we're going to start with this one, 3/4. The denominator tells me how many pieces there are altogether. So I'm going to draw a rectangle and I'm going to split it into 4 equal pieces because my denominator is 4. My numerator is 3. That tells me how many pieces I'm talking about. So in this case, how many pieces are shaded in? And that's 3. 1, 2, 3. When I draw 3/8, I want my rectangle to be as close as I can to the same size as the first one. Because remember, when we're talking about fractions, it's the same size. You can't compare them if they're not the same size. So this one the denominator is 8. So I drew my rectangle. I split it into 8 equal parts. And then my numerator is 3, so I shaded in 3. Now you can also put fractions on a number line, which we did not do. So I'm just going to quickly go over it because I know that on the packets that or on the website and that you could pick up at the grab-and-go meal places, they did have fractions on a number line. Just going to talk about it briefly. If it confuses you or you don't think you can do it, you don't want to try it, that's okay. When we see each other again, we'll go over it. So for the first one here, 3/4, you draw a number line, and remember, a fraction is a part of a whole. So our number line is going to be from 0 to 1. That will be our whole. Then I'm going to break it into 4 equal parts. So I'm going to start by breaking it into 2 equal parts, and then those 2 parts into smaller parts. So then I have 4. To find where 3/4 is, first I'm going to label each line. My fractions are the spaces between lines. So this is 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. My first one would be 0/4, and then if I make one jump from 0/4 to the first line, I've gone 1/4. Then if I go from 0, 1, 2 to the second line, that's 2/4. 1, 2, 3 would be 3/4. So that's where I would make my mark because my fraction is 3/4. And then if I went the whole length, it would be 4/4. So for 3/8, I draw my number line 0 to 1. And I'm going to break it into 8 equal parts. Again, I would start with doing 1/2 and then 4ths and then divide those 4ths in half again. And then, so it always starts with 0 and whatever the denominator is, 8. So this is 0/8. And then from 0/8 to the first line, that's one jump, so that's 1/8. The second jump, if I go 1, 2, that would be 2/8. 1, 2, 3 would be 3/8. And then each line after is 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, 7/8, 8/8. Now, I can look at these 2 rectangles, I can look at these 2 number lines, and I can now compare my fractions by using those pictures. 3/4 is greater than 3/8. So this fraction here, 3/4, is bigger than this fraction here. I have a bigger space colored in. So that's what we're going to do for Fraction Friday.